Yo, right, right. So interestingly, like yesterday, when Spirit Dude came on and talking, you guys said it was echo, and that plugged in different cables or differently, and the echo stopped, which is strange because when I can see the feedback on the what's it called, EQ, um, but it's only mic and desktop audio was muted, but yesterday it was switched on, but you could see both move. You know, like the microphone moved when the desktop audio had audio in it, which was weird.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Atsuki. Oh, yeah. Rolling in it. Like that number 8 feels so good. Hey, Zelin, how's it going? Yeah. Yesterday, it was a wonderful thunderstorm. It was really nice. Or day before. Can't remember. Anyways, topics. What should I draw? I'm open for suggestions. Hey, Frenchy. How's my post E3 hangover? It was painless E3 this year. I kind of found Final Fantasy VII Remake pretty cool. Like I want to give that to my son, but as far as I know, what I heard is that they've only remade the city, and that's on a 2-disc Blu-ray experience, and not the entire game. I don't really know how they do that. But for me, I mean, like a huge part of Final Fantasy VII was like the chocobo races and all these things in the countryside. Anyways, Frenchy, I think Cyberpunk is always fascinating. And Ori, there was a few cool ones there, but also a lot of like, why should I even care? A Butler of Infestation, that's pretty cool topic. Anglerfish Night, that's pretty cool. Secondhand Hero, it's nice. So we got 3 topics. Let's split the dice in 3 then. Roll it. 5, which is the third, which is Secondhand Hero by Kirill. Alright. Secondhand Hero. Secondhand Hero by Kirill. And the other way around. Kirill. Friendship. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of shitty. Kirill with the too late, friendship. So secondhand hero. I mean, you could have vintage. You could have Sackboy type thing. You know that, and Planet, whatever that game was called. Not really a hero, but a hero. It's like secondhand information. You know, I heard about someone who heard about this hero, or a used hero. Hey, Miguel Iglesias. That's okay, Kirill. That's okay. So second-hand hero. I think I'll go with this hero has been used. So so the story is a discarded plush toy that, against all odds, still loves and teaches a new child in a new family that finds this broken toy or this second-hand toy, you know, this already used toy, teaches this new kid the importance of love, which is important and heroic against all odds. You know, could be bitter, but not. That's my spin on it. So, in order to try to show that, just gonna try to be like a broken toy, like really roughed up, carrying like a heart, glowing heart, and all beaten up and destroyed. Hey Kuiba, how's it going? Welcome back, Kuiba. Yeah, so I think it's worth going back to the topic of yesterday about Artstation's decision to remove likes and views. I think it's an interesting decision to do. I think it indicates a certain thing about direction they want to go, rather than the initial. I think they're changing the company. I think. Oh, Fresher, you have exam? Wow. If I cut my hair? I don't know. It depends on when you looked. I mean, it's the same. It's the same disaster. It just lies back. Maybe it looked slim, short. I don't know. It's the same roadside accident. Yeah, it's both long and short at the same time. Anyways, back to the topic. I think Artstation is changing. I think it's a step in a multiple series of steps they're going to make. Cheers, Kuiba. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think they are gonna go more social media platform. Hey Bjorn Workshop, how's it going? Hello, my fellow Bjorn. Oh yeah, so good. We are now one more. Except, have you seen Bjorn's Workshop? Have you seen the movie One with Jet Li? Yeah, Jet Li. Then you know what's up. Then you know I'm gonna be coming knocking on your door. Steal your powers. For those who don't know, it's a cool movie. It's about an interdimensional criminal who goes into each dimension and kills himself. And every time he kills himself, there are himself in a third person. He gets that person's power. Bjorn Workshops. Oh snap! Hey Morphia, what's up? What's up? So everyone, you have approximately 1.5 days left of Unreal Bjornament Round 5. Will you make it? Will you make it in time, all you comeback bracket fighters? everyone has been complete ninja though. No one is posting anything. So we'll see if there's actually gonna be something posted. French. Oh, you're gonna have that kind of exam. Well, oh, it's like the final exam work, like exhibition or presentation rather. Anyways, let's get back to Artstation. I think they are gonna be more artists' social media and less hardcore portfolio. Because if you think about what Artstation used to be when they launched it after CG Hub collapsed, you know, it was like, oh, portfolio website purely, right? And they're slowly introducing more things, you know, like community challenges, print shop, marketplace, all these things, right? Because I think hey Casey, yeah, it is, but I think they don't have enough traffic, Artstation, to maintain just portfolio website of top members, more or less. That's what it ends up being, right? With all the great artists getting all the fame, it's still going to be that way. They can never circumvent that. But what I think might happen is that if there isn't enough information at first glance that will tell you how good you are in numbers or not, they can more easily adjust who's being exposed. And in that return, it's not going to be, whoever's seen is not going to be based on popularity, you know, if you know what I mean, of the difference there. At the moment now, you know, like on trending, the tab category trending is the one who has the most traffic in the shortest amount of time, right? Because they are getting the most traffic, so they are being shown on in that category. And then there's community, which is, I think, random, and then there is picks, which is the staff picking what they like, right? So in a way, the pick isn't really a mark of quality of any means, other than it appeals to them. Zealin, yes and no, in the terms that they want to rig it. I don't think they want the elitist point of view of max hits only being displayed. As I said, I think they're going for a more social media route, or community-based kind of exposure, which means step one being they remove displayed figures who says who's better or not, and in the like a few steps later on, they can randomize content without outrage, saying, oh, I have 1,000 likes on my picture, but they only have 2. Why are they posted in front of me? You know, currently, if someone with 5 likes would be displayed on the front page, versus someone with 50,000 likes. They would be like, hey, what's happening? What mine is obviously better. I have more likes. You know, in that sense. Even though they still have it, but I don't think they can remove everything because everyone would outrage. So that's why I say that I think it's going to be multiple steps, and that they're going to go for more social media type place or point of view rather than a elitist art portfolio website. And I'm not saying it's anything wrong with that, but again, I'm returning to the point of on a topic I've always commented about, is that you should have your own website where you display your art, and that being the main place for traffic. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit of like hypocrite here because my website hasn't been taken care of in forever. Granted, I'm very busy, and I tried when I had a downtime to work on my website, so it's halfway finished at the moment. But let's say again, like CG Hub disappeared. Boom, everyone's online portfolio, which they put all their eggs in, disappeared, and they're like, oh, I don't have my portfolio anymore. How will I get hired? And I think it's the same with Artstation to some degree, where they might migrate or alter their direction, where it's not going to be purely like a portfolio website, but more of a community thing, which means people are going to stop treating it like survival of the fittest. You know, like the strongest artist gets the most exposure, and it's going to be a lot more random, a lot more, in a sense, who cares about quality when it's about the community. So I think it's a little bit of a tricky place, because I think a lot of people are I think there's a lot of things happening behind the curtain, and I think one thing that's happening behind the curtains, Zealand, true, but then in that sense, Zealand, it stops being a portfolio, you know. But also, giving a like on a picture doesn't mean anything in the big picture. In the big picture wise, what is a like, or how many people have viewed it in that sense? I mean, like Spiridon talked about yesterday. Like, it matters when you're trying to convince someone to invest in a product, where the artist, for example, you're making an art book and you're looking for funding, and you go, okay, Mr. People with Money, you see this artist has this statistics, so it would mean you can guarantee a certain percentage of sales due to the fact that they have this kind of following. But if you can't measure that, saying, well, I don't know, that website in that scenario, Artstation in that scenario, becomes irrelevant. They won't use Artstation as another gauge of popularity of that artist when you're trying to convince someone to invest. You know, if you don't have those statistics, like on my domain, I can go look at statistics, who is visiting from when, what are they looking at, and so on, and I can show that to someone. Granted, you can probably do that with a pro license on Artstation at the moment, but who knows what's going to happen in the future, if they're going to keep it or remove it, or migrate, or so maybe Artstation won't be used for those terms in the future. Maybe it'll be something else. Hey Tormund, how's it going? Hey Turbo Nerd. Funny nickname, by the way. You're just not a nerd, you're Turbo Nerd. I don't think CJub ever charged money. No. Kirill. Well, yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that point that someone who works hard and don't get 50 likes on their art, they can get discouraged by it. But to that extent as well, is like you got to question then why are you posting it publicly if you don't want exposure? You know? Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's cool, Turbo Nerd. Glad that you follow it on YouTube. I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you, and thanks for taking the time to come by and say hi. Hi. Casey mod, true. I mean, it's a good way to get visibility, but currently you won't get visibility unless you get traffic. You know. Turbo Nerd, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's these arguments going. Some people are making that are, for example, pro removing likes and views, total views from your account, or even in general everywhere. Like you don't need to display likes. One of their arguments is you shouldn't post for likes. What's the purpose of likes? And like, but it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. Like Turbo Nerd is saying, like he stops, or he or she, I don't know. Turbo Nerd is stop caring about how many likes the art generates, and it's only like valuing the feedback from friends or people they ask. I mean, to some extent, yeah, that's great. But also, I mean, yesterday we discussed with Spirit Dude about a friend of ours whose soul requires exposure to reach outside of his landlocked, very small country, which have zero physical industry in that sense of game stuff. There is no studios in his country that of that level that use it. So he uses international means to get hired, outside of his country, of Serbia. But if he can't be seen, he can't get the exposure and random success that he gets from being trending. From having algorithms that supports positive attention. Like if you'd never get to be on front seat due to traffic, saying, hey, look at this, a lot of people are looking at this, look at this cool thing, and then he gets random hits because someone sees it and goes, well, if it's pure like mathematics, if you have 1 million people just default looking at the main page and you have 5 million people uploading art, you can't see all of them, and chances are good stuff is being missed. But the question is, who has to pay for it? Does the artist that make really great art consistently, should that artist be punished because the lesser good artist doesn't get the exposure, so they will switch to the exposing, giving the lesser good artist more exposure and knocking down the better artist better? You know, you could see it that way too. And our friend there who's relying on it for jobs, that he's going down that route of exposure rather than portfolios. He probably sends portfolio too, but majority of his clients are from internet that sees his designs, right? Because of his following and social media exposure. Yeah, so in a way, friendship, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my friend, like I said, is relying on that fact that his work can be trending and that his work is of a quality that he gets work from it when his work is trending on the algorithms and getting exposure. And also, you could argue, like, what is the reason why you post art on Artstation? I made the analogy of going to a party in my underwear and just going, oh, well, this is just something I threw together a minute before going to the party. Here I am. Or I put on my suit to do my hair, smell good and trim my beard and have a slick appearance. Both are fair. You shouldn't shit on the person coming in underwear to the party. You should go like, oh, hi, nice of you, but I'm having a business drink here, so would you mind not standing next to me? That would could be another way of seeing it. Potentially, you could also make the argument that people that are complaining about likes are not getting them. You could also argue that, or that they are on the side of the people who don't get likes. Personally, I'm not on either side. I'm just argumenting, Miguel, to some degree, I can see your point, but according to what standards are they mediocre, and how do you know that their following are following of quality, or why is there a problem that they have more than you and they are less skilled? I mean, fictional scenario. There's nothing wrong with having a huge following and not being very skilled. I literally talked about this last week, I think, about this female portrait painter on Instagram that had 500,000 followers, and I just couldn't understand how. And clearly it was from a point of ego where I'm going, oh, I'm much better artist, but she has 500,000 and I have 10,000. How could that be? And I would definitely say I'm aware of my own ego and ability to see past that, and clearly she is good. She has a lot more mainstream approach to art and generic enough for a lot of people to appreciate, where definitely maybe I'm better skilled, but I'm not mainstream enough. But who am I to argue that she is right or wrong, you know? But I don't want to limit her exposure, because she is literally making a living due to her exposure, due to the fact that 500,000 people are waiting for her next piece of art, and then they are themselves sharing her piece of art or getting exposed to her due to kind of exposure or assimilation of exposure and secondhand stuff, you know. But if you didn't see that, you know, if you wouldn't see those numbers, would you still care? I think there's a huge part that do care about someone who's successful, and when you see successful, you want to be exposed to it, right? That's why people care about movie stars. Friendship. Yeah, that's also a very good point. But you could say movie tickets are likes for Geiger, right? Geiger got tons of recognition and likes due to the fact that he designed the alien, right? He from his work of the Necronomicon, and like appreciation and likes are direct translated into income, because a lot of people want to see it. So let's say you work yourself up to 10,000 people. You don't talk a single time about your book, but when you hit 10,000 people, you go, oh, by the way, I'm doing this little project. And then the numbers absolutely matter, right? It's mathematics. Miguel, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not taking a standpoint either. Like, I'm not saying I'm for this or against that. I'm just arguing or making a reflection on top of it, right? Turbo nerdy. Yeah, absolutely. But is that bad though? Or is it good? I would say it's great. I mean, obviously, let's say that if someone likes me and I follow a lot of you, you know, in that sense, let's take this example of Warmup, right? And on if there's a lot of followers from the viewers on my Instagram account, and someone likes me, chances are they will be exposed. You will be exposed when someone likes mine as well, you know, because we are connected and there's a lot of traffic in between us, right? I generally, when I am on Instagram, see, let's say, Zealin's post, I go, oh, that's nice, click, I liked it. And then in the return, they will be getting exposure, you know, they're accumulative numbers, right? And the reason why I post on social media is for marketing purposes. Friendship, yeah, absolutely. It's also down to what you do with that traffic. But I guarantee you, majority of all people who have a huge following are making money. out of it, either by client exposure, behind the scenes deals, and guaranteed. And if they don't, they're doing it wrong. Because I'm quite sure it's going to be like, oh, hey, buddy, by the way, I saw your post on Instagram. How about we do this? How about you do a mention of this? Or guaranteed. Because on internet, numbers are everything. If for money. No one gives thousands of dollars to a person who gets 3 views a month on their profile versus someone who has managed to gain a following, create traffic to their place, whatever this place is, which means exposure, which means numbers, and if someone wants to take advantage of those numbers, they can pay for that traffic. You know, what if on Artstation you have 1 million followers on Artstation, and people can see that, and it's easier for them to go, oh, I also want to follow this. 1 million people want to see what this artist does. I want to also know what's the secret, right? And what if someone pays, oh, you, by the way, your next post, please incorporate this name in a piece of art, and I will pay you 5,000 for it. And you go, okay. So next post, 1 million people will be exposed to your company brand in this image. You know, that's baby. Food for thought, right? Darky. Absolutely Darky, but you know, I don't think this is the first and only step they will make. Darky. I think it's going to be a sequence of many steps, and I think they're going to gear significantly more towards a homogeneous point of view rather than elitist. So we'll see where that goes. I'm not sure. I'm not part of Artstation, so I don't really know. And I don't really have a like investment in that sense of emotional or personal opinion in it. I'm interested in seeing where it leads. And today's talk was mostly just like a reflection of different point of views on that topic. So it's not like I'm arguing for something here that they are bad or good in their decision. But what I do think they're going to make is successive steps that going to direct Artstation away from where it is now. That's I'm quite sure of. Tazos. Good for you, buddy. Darky, yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's find someone to raid. To pass the love on to. What's Joe doing? Oh, he's talking about art. Interesting. Let's raid Joe. Joe is a great guy and all that. You gave him some love. Cheers, Fresher. Right. Thanks everyone for joining in. Have a fantastic day. Good night if you're that part of the world. See you guys tomorrow. It's Friday. Tomorrow is the last day of round 5. 8 o'clock in the evening in UK time. I'm gonna do the outro, and after the outro, take us to the raid. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for discussing. It was a great discussion. Reading your opinions. See you tomorrow. Bye.